Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I'll be talking about the report from Albert Breer that says that the Washington Commanders are leaning towards taking Jayden Daniels with the number 2 overall pick, at least for right now. Also, I'll give you guys an update on some of the pro days from the other quarterbacks and why this might not be the news you think it is. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and that notification bell as well so you never miss a video. Alright, so yesterday Albert Breer was on his show. I don't know what it is. I think he's on, Sports Illustrated and a couple other things, but he did make a report and was talking about who he thinks the Washington Commanders are going to take at 2. And he said he's hearing from people that the Commanders are leaning towards taking Jayden Daniels with the number 2 overall pick. And Albert Breer is very well connected, but, and I think it's in the title, don't jump to any big conclusions just because of this report. Yes, Albert Breer is respected. He is in the know for a lot of things, and he was pretty well connected to the Commanders under Ron Rivera. Seems like they were friendly, at least, maybe friends. And so he might still be connected to some guys like Mayhew and Eric Stokes, whatever. But a lot of people were saying Ben Johnson's going to be the head coach, blah, blah, blah. And no one really knew besides maybe like Adam Schefter knew it wasn't a certainty. And then I think Ian Rapport, even though he was saying like maybe Ben Johnson's the leader, he did say Dan Quinn early on was a guy that they could go after. So just because this is what they're saying doesn't mean it's going to happen. You look back at what the 49ers did in 2020, I believe. It might have been, I think it was 2020. The year where, or no, not 2020. I think it was 2021 or 2022. The year with Trevor Lawrence and them, I think that's 2021, where they drafted Trey Lance. But up until draft day, there was like probably 40% of the people thinking it's going to be Trey Lance, 40% of the people thinking it's going to be Mac Jones, and then maybe the rest thinking maybe Zach Wilson falls, or more likely Justin Fields getting picked there. So at least that's kind of what I remember. A lot of people were thinking that Mac Jones was going to be the pick, and they didn't. Adam Peters obviously was part of that front office, and not a lot of people knew until the final buzzer when they turned in that card for Trey Lance. Obviously, it didn't work out with Trey Lance, but we're just talking about the draft process of how how much they're telling people. So I think they do know who they're drafting. I really do. I know there's still pro days, but they have the number 2 overall pick. They've known for a while. They've watched the film. They definitely know which way they're leaning. Things could change, medicals with, maybe Jayden Daniels or Drake May, something comes out, or character stuff, or something crazy. But for the most part, I think they know who they're going to take at 2, unless something crazy happens. But I think only a few guys really know what they're going to do. I think Adam Peters, obviously he's the one making the decision, and I think Cliff Kingsbury and maybe Dan Quinn, and then what's the guy's name? Newmark. Sorry, I don't know why I said it. Lance Newmark. I think those guys might know, but after that, I really don't think a lot of people know who they're going to take because they want to keep this close. So only a few people really know who they're going to take at 2 on draft day. And it's not a huge deal if people know if you're at the number 2 or the number 1 overall pick, but it's just not great to have stuff leaked out. And it's just better to keep things in-house in case, something happens and you just don't want stuff to leak out. It's better for it to not than for it to leak out. Things could happen. Players could take things a certain way, or you lose leverage. It's just not great. So being able to keep it in-house is huge. And they've been able to do that with some of these signings, and with Ben Johnson, the head coach. A lot of people thought they were going to take hire Ben Johnson. They didn't. And maybe there was some other reasons for that. Maybe they did want Ben Johnson, but I think they're able to keep things close to them. And but let's talk about Jayden Daniels here with the number 2 overall pick. I think it's really 50-50 right now. I don't know who they're going to take. I like Jayden Daniels. I like Drake May. Love Caleb Williams. Would like any of those 3 I would be happy with. Caleb Williams, though, he's going 1. We're not going to be able to take him. But Drake May and Jayden Daniels, both those guys are going to be available for the Commanders at number 2, of course. So they're going to have to make a choice. Do they want Jayden Daniels or do they want Drake May? They're not going to trade back. I really have a hard time believing that they would trade back. At the most, they would trade back to number 3 and let the Patriots take who they want, and we get a couple picks. But we're good with picks right now. I don't think we need to trade back, and especially not at 2. Maybe in the second round if you want to trade back, get some future picks for next year, something like that. But we're chilling on picks right now. We don't need to trade back. And let's just take one of these 2 quarterbacks. And I have my preference. Again, I think I like Jayden Daniels a little bit more than Drake May. But I would say Drake May, at least in terms of maybe he's not closing the gap, but some of the other things I'm reading on Jayden Daniels is like making him closer. Just some of the worrying stats with Jayden Daniels. There's also some really good things, but so the sack stuff is a little bit concerning. And he's going to have to, definitely improve that once he gets into the league. And a lot of the quarterbacks that have been busts, that stat has been good at predicting it. It has been good at predicting it. And yeah, so Jayden Daniels, that's kind of just a little bit of a rumor there. Albert Breer thinks that, and there's a lot of other guys. Your JP Finley kind of seconded it as well, saying that he thinks that they want Jayden Daniels. He's not reporting like they're going to take Jayden Daniels, but he's leaning towards it. And it's still more than a month away from the draft. J.J. McCarthy, he had his pro day today, and I'll just go over some of the Commanders contingent that was there. Dan Quinn was there, Adam Peters was there, Cliff Kingsbury was there, and maybe Newmark was there as well. And then, he was. So those 4, Peters, Newmark, Dan Quinn, and Cliff, were at USC's Pro Day, which was, the 20th, so Wednesday. And then they had dinner with J.J. McCarthy on Thursday. That was reported, or that it was going to happen. I'm sure it happened. LSU's Pro Day is the 27th, so I don't know. I think that's like next Thursday or Friday. Today's the 22nd, which is Friday, so I guess it'll be like maybe Wednesday. It'll be Wednesday. And then UNC Thursday. So that's a big day. Those 2 days next week. Just see some of the measurables, especially with Jayden Daniels. He's a little bit slimmer, so people want him to weigh a little bit more. And then maybe they'll run 40s. Probably not. I guess at the Pro Day they might. And then just see him throw. I don't think it's a big deal. We know how these guys throw. The Pro Day isn't really going to change these guys' minds in terms of who they're taking. It really isn't. The film and the people they are, that's what's going to change. That's what's going to change their mind on who to take. But again, I have a suspicion they know who they're going to take. Even if they're not going to say it, they definitely are leaning one way or the other, and that's probably not going to change really from now until the draft, a month away, especially when you know how it's going to play out. Or you don't know for certain, but you have a good inkling that the Bears are going to take Caleb. So you're going to have your choice between Drake May, Jayden Daniels. Those really the 2, but maybe J.J. McCarthy as well. He's creeping up boards, and then Michael Penix and Bo Nix are going to be probably first round guys, maybe second. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys new, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a video. And yeah, so the draft season, it's starting to get underway, especially after the first wave of free agency. And we're going to hear a lot of rumors. I would just say this regime has been good at keeping things close to them. So don't take these reports too much into consideration on what you're thinking the Commanders are going to do. Peace, guys.